Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Hello and welcome to another episode of Nothing But Tom. My name is Tom. With me, as always, is Tom, and our guest this week is Tom. How you doing, Tom?
Hold on one second. I'm actually watching the Ron Artest elbow James Harden video right now.
Okay, yeah, this is good. I can set us up here. Today is Monday, May 11th. We are conducting the criminal trial of Victor Wembanyama for, of course, third-degree cranial assault. As a concussion survivor myself, I find this issue to be very serious.
Yeah.
And so, you guys have talked me down off the death penalty, but
Right.
I am interested in sort of hearing your litigation of the case.
I can't believe he isn't going to get suspended for this because it's like it's just so he just lost his cool so bad, and it really reminded me of like when Jokic would lose his cool, but Jokic kind of always saved that for elimination games, except in the case of the regular season attack on the Morris twin. But in the playoffs, he like. I don't think Jokic would like. It's so weird to have your behavior be like front runner behavior plus violent attack. Plus, I'm at the end of my rope. Like, their whole thing is when they lost that game one or whatever. He's like, yeah, Steph and I were laughing in the locker room because we played our worst possible game and they barely beat us. Da da da. You can't be that guy. And I'm at the end of my rope. I'm gonna like murder you, guy.
It did kind of see. Oh, God.
No, I was just going to say, I think the best parallel is with Israel mysteriously winning Eurovision by 500x votes. Like him not getting suspended. There's something afoot,
You're sensing the footprint of the NBA deep state.
Yeah, precisely. So, and NBA soft power. Yeah.
The more I think about it, like there is a bit of a lineage of superstar players, when they're young, losing their cool, like the Giannis, where he runs across the
elimination
court
game as well, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. To hit Mike Dunleavy Jr. And then Jokic had one or whatever. Like
yeah, but that was against Cameron.
Who the fuck was it?
Campaign, y'all.
Campaign. Oh yeah.
Oh, you got me with Cameron. He
Yeah,
okay.
I never heard his ass referred to as Cameron before.
Cameron Payne.
Cameron.
That's in the formal tense.
We were talking right before you started, right before we started recording, about the kind of like front runner. Like there's something about the precision of Wemby's thing, and like his whole thing is that he is at peace with his inner self, and like that the game is secondary.
Yes.
So to see him lose his cool in that way was like I was telling Tom before we started recording, like as somebody who has staked out a Wemby hater position, and as somebody who just is a fan of league entropy in any way, I could not have been more excited by.
I'm happy for you, bro.
By what happened. Yeah. Like a big win, obviously, first and foremost for me, and then the people of Minnesota.
Well, it's clear now also, like, that whole like going to be with the monks thing, like his whole vibe is that he's like actually like, a complete head case. And it's like a real like men will do anything other than go to therapy type beat.
Yes.
But the thing that's interesting, well, you know what? Maybe he's just got the spidey sense, and he knows now that they've lost the series. It would be crazy to me to have, we're going down, so I'm leaving here with something energy when you're up 2-1 in the series. But maybe Wemby has seen the future. And he knows that this is just not the team to beat this Timberwolves team, this juggernaut Timberwolves team.
The case there is that he's going to sort of force De'Aaron Fox into the full force of the spotlight, and the whole world will see like he's not ready for this, and everyone's going to be like, they got to get rid of his ass right now. Harper's better. So this is sort of like an accelerationist move by Wemby.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Let me throw one other one at you that I was thinking, because one of the other strange components of this Wemby elbow was he does the elbow. He is sitting he gets ejected, and then he appears to ask Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, this is
what a flagrant 2 means, which is
it's a no. This is not real. This is like aura farming, kayfabe, like whatever. This is insane. He's the guy. He's the like basketball genius savant guy.
And like famously was like, I started learning English at 11 so that when they tell me a flagrant 2, I know what it means or whatever. Like that's like,
you know what? I also, the thing you left out of that, that cut to the sideline, which is the thing I liked the absolute least, which is the sort of the gestural equivalent of a unnecessary elbow to the face, is he like sitting down, reaches up and pulls Harrison Barnes to him. And it's like, bro, that's Harrison Barnes. Like, show some fucking respect.
NBA
you know what I mean?
NBA
That's
champion.
like my vet, bro. That's my vet. Like, leave my vet. Like, don't do that to my vet, bro. I couldn't believe, I thought that was just, showed a great deal of disrespect for the, the great Harrison Barnes.
Well, and so, okay. So there's obviously this reading of it, which is, petulant by Wemby, but let me just throw a kind of possible deep state, because Wemby hits this elbow and then looks he looks a little out of it. Like he kind of looks like, what did I just do? Did I like
CTE Wemby?
Well, you're going even different.
Wow.
No, I'm going. I like that though.
You're going deep
like,
state. Sorry, my fault. We'll come back to CTE
like
Wemby.
MK Ultra Wemby. I'm going like, what if it's a Sirhan situation? It was like the league is in trouble. We're reading the Atlantic article. There's not enough fighting in the league. Adam Silver like beams the thing at him. He blacks
There's
out.
someone in like the third row with like a little sound thing. They Havanaed Wemby, and he went nuts.
Exactly. And then he like
Ant went into the locker room right before. And so Silver hit his knees. Yes, Silver hit his knees with the like knee healing ray, and he's like, "After we do this on you, you only got 10 minutes here because we gotta change the frequency.
Yeah.
We gotta
focus this directly on Wemby's head.
Yeah,
like we got agendas to do." And then Ant has a great fourth quarter, of course. Everyone's talking about this series.
Man.
Oh, MJ shit.
He is incredible, and it's also just like he's so clearly multiply injured.
Yes.
Like when he made the fast break layup, and like Harper fell around him, and you saw the slow-mo version, and he's like wincing in pain, pops up, sprints down the court. Like, this guy is just incredible. I really hope that he isn't being stupid and doesn't end up with like diminished longevity because of playing through, because it's like they're going to get to the next round and they're going to get absolutely throttled by the Thunder, best case scenario. So, but I just love it. He's so damn good, and it's crazy too because he's one of these guys where you're like, there's like a class of guys like the D Rose, Ja Morant set who are like just demented athletes, explosive, chaotically good athletes. And you watch
chaotic good.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Keys?
And like
sorry.
You see Ant how he's working. Yeah, it's okay. You see Ant work in this game, and he's just so skilled. It's so crazy to watch him because he clearly can't, he can barely dunk. This is the guy who ruined John Collins' life. And he can barely touch rim right now, and he's just so good. He's so talented. It's awesome.
Something I really like about this part of the playoffs is when a guy like Ant is just killing a team so bad that like the second he crosses half court, it's like, we're going to double the shit out of you. Like we don't give a fuck that like Terrence Shannon's getting a wide open corner 3. Like you are not going to beat our ass. And like, he kind of still did.
And he still did.
It was amazing.
He almost, they like tried to lose the game in the end for some reason.
The Io hacky sack moment was so good.
Well, honestly, also that was a foul on De'Aaron Fox. That was an unmistakable loose ball foul on De'Aaron Fox. He didn't know where the ball was in flight. Io was up making a play, and De'Aaron Fox had 2 hands out into his body. So, like, if that would have gone out to the Spurs, me as a lifetime Minnesota Timberwolves fan, I would have been really upset.
Yeah, I mean, I could picture you just walking the banks of the Mississippi in your beloved St. Paul and just looking out over the horizon and thinking like, why would they do this to a Minnesota boy like me? You know,
I know. So after the loss, I would have had to drive to Wisconsin to get beer, and they don't sell alcohol on Sundays in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, just a little local knowledge for us.
Yeah, a little local lore. But yeah, I mean, I've completely converted to the Wolves. I don't know how it happened because it was.
I know how it
demoralizing.
happened.
Yeah, but it's so demoralizing, and I don't usually do that. Like, well, if they beat us, then we want them to win it all thing. But this Wolves team is so awesome. They're so awesome. Yeah,
it's true.
It's hard for me.
They just play so hard.
I developed such incredible hatred for Jaden McDaniels in the first round. He really hurt me and the people I care about. But he's fucking awesome. He's awesome. It's like he's an incredible basketball player.
He is, and the it's been said many times, but his insane ability to not change his facial expression.
Oh, dude, what a joyless dude. It's so cool. Yeah.
It's pretty special. But okay, let's back up because
joy is weakness entering the body. So you have to no expressions. But yeah, back it up.
Yeah, there is last just thing on this, which is like Jokic. The meme about Jokic is like, oh, he doesn't like his job. It's like, dog, Jane McDaniels doesn't like being alive. Like Jaden
McDaniels is like a true Gnostic. He's like, I'm in the world, and it is a crime against me that I had, I had no say in being born.
He's like, brother, we're all trapped in our bodies just the same as anyone, and I'm just trying to get out.
Whatever. Okay, the most destructive act for me was being born.
The crime of birth. Yeah.
All right. So about 1 month ago, Tom, we had you on in our awesome evergreen episode that was a Denver Nuggets playoff preview. I highly suggest everybody check that out because it was so good. But you were also, you were on a heater just as a podcaster, but you're always an excellent talent. But you were also you were excited. You were like, you were so excited for this Nuggets playoff run and to watch this team kind of be round fully into form. And then a month, you just won 13 games, whatever. Aaron Gordon is back. Bill Simmons is giving the MVP vote from Shea to Jokic. And a month later, here we are. The Nugget, the Nuggets kind of stall out. Like, what? Can you take us through? Yeah, go ahead.
First off, on that very same recording, I also said that I've reached basketball nirvana or something like this.
I was thinking about that when I was watching Jokic and Murray just freak out and thinking like, Tom is probably just accepting this.
I was really, really, really pissed and sad and disappointed. Like I'm not like Jaden McDaniels in that way. I want good things to happen. But I also said on that recording, so basketball nirvana, don't get too high or too low type beat. And then on that recording, I also pointed out to other Tom, the Defector editor, Tom.
False Tom.
Tom what? What's his?
Tom Lay.
Yep. T-Lay. I pointed out that the winning streak was kind of like Disney, like we beat, I have it up here so you don't think I'm like a psychopath, but we beat Toronto. Okay. So Toronto, not a real team. Portland, definitely not a real team. Phoenix, same level as Toronto. Dallas, terrible. Utah, terrible. Golden State, not real. And I think we struggled with them in the first half as well. Utah, again. San Antonio, we barely beat them in overtime, and that was the win where everyone was like, wait a second. The Nuggets might have some juice here. Great win. Next game was after 3 days rest. We went down like 24 to Portland and barely scraped back a win in OT. Probably spent energy that we could have used in the playoffs. Beat Memphis, doesn't count. Beat OKC, sitting everyone. I think Jonas Valanciunas was the high scorer in that game. And then on the last day of the season, beat San Antonio because of David Roddy's super heroic performance for the Denver Nuggets. So that is a complete bullshit win streak. It sucks that that's the biggest win streak in franchise history too. It's like utter nonsense. It reminds me of the streak we had I think the Nuggets had a streak in December too. That was like, I don't know. It was like we beat Sacramento in the middle of it, and everyone was like, "We're so back, baby." It's like, guys, we beat Sacramento. But so yeah, I think that for me, like, the thing that's really frustrating. You say 1 month ago we were, at the precipice of this potential, and we went in and we won game 1. And if you recall, the first half of game 2, the Nuggets looked like world beaters.
They're up like 20, right?
Oh, man. Jamal was high-fiving everybody in the crowd and shit. We were fucking incredible. And I texted my guys, I was like, the Nuggets are going to lose this game because they're like getting too adrenalized. Like, what are they doing? And it shows you when a team is like that. I mean, annoying. This is the thing about Jaden McDaniels. The Nuggets the Nuggets surprised themselves. They went into that game not knowing if they were going to be good enough. And when they were playing great, they were like, "Oh shit, this is awesome. Like, I didn't know if we had it, but this is really fun. I guess we're the best team in basketball." It's like, that's not a meaningful approach. That's not a disciplined approach. And, from the second half of game 2 to the end of the series, we had our tail between our legs. I've never seen anything. I mean, that's the thing that's really frustrating is like, I've never seen anything. I've seen a lot of Nuggets losses, playoff series losses, meltdowns. Trevor Ariza, 2 steals to steal our dreams of beating that Kobe era team. Like, I've seen us suffer, and I've never seen us do it as pathetically as we did. And so that now, I hate the worst thing about losing in the first round is it just makes your offseason even longer. Like, at least the Wolves have a couple more, like 10 more days to not have to worry about whether or not they need to move off of Randall. Right. Like, all these conversations just drive me insane. Nuggets already had their like exit interview presser with ownership, and GMs are like GM buddy duo, our good cop, bad cop GM duo, which makes no sense. Nobody else does that. I don't know why we have 2 GMs. And then our sad coach, our very sad, very, very, our Nepo coach.
Doesn't feel good. I mean, the word you used was pathetic, which I think is exactly right. Like,
yeah,
games 3 through 6, the experience of watching that was just so frustrating because it was Jokic and Jamal doing the 2-man stuff against like 2 guys who are uniquely able to fuck that up. And it was just like running into the same brick wall over and over again. And game 6 in particular, like Scam Johnson really had it going. There was just no concept of running anything through him. He was just standing there as like Jaden McDaniels just kept like stonewalling Jamal, and it just made me feel insane.
I mean, there's 2 things that I want to say about how the series ended. One is like, after we won game 5, which made it 3-2, the like DNVR podcast guys, I try not to listen, but as the playoffs, I just had that, I yearned for content,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I threw that on, and they're like, "Who do you think has more pressure on them now, the Nuggets or the Wolves?" They're all like, "Oh, definitely the Wolves. They're on their heels and their backs are against the wall." I was like, "You guys, we're down in the series. We are down in a series, significantly down in a series." And I should have known from that. I got my hopes up. I was feeling excited, feeling ready. I thought, hey, this Tyus Jones thing is really working for us. Like, we cracked the Wolves. We got Tyus out there, and he's, he can bring the ball up without like, backing up at the Nuggets free throw line and like trying to back up against multiple Wolves defenders. And Jamal just doesn't have it. And the thing that sucks is like, now we go into this mode of, do we blow it up or run it back? Blow it up and get way better, or run it back? And I think that sadly the answer is like Adorno has this like rhetorical trope where he's like the it's not either or, which is like the Kierkegaardian dialectical like which way modern man thing. It's actually neither nor. Neither nor is the true melancholic, the most galaxy brained, miserablest perspective on it. And we're not going to make a big trade and get better, nor are we going to run it back. What we're going to do is we're probably going to trade Jamal Murray, probably going to trade Aaron Gordon, which is going to like be spiritual devastation. It's going to be awful. Maybe it's a good basketball move. I haven't thought hard enough about it. And then what we're going to get in return for these guys, I saw Matt Moore, who I think is incredible. He is like ruthless. He's the opposite of the DNVR guys in so many ways. Like, he's like not charming. It's super annoying, super on point and ruthless. Like not mediagenic at all. So annoying and so dialed in.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's the man. I think he's so good. And I think he's so smart. And he had a trade that was like Jamal Murray for Scoot and Drew and the lesser Murray twin.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, so you trade Jamal for that, which is, Krejci or whatever.
The Czech guy.
The Czech guy. So we get those guys. Maybe he gets waived in the process, but maybe he's like our 10th guy or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But so you trade those guys. You don't keep Cam Johnson. You re-sign Peyton Watson. You trade Aaron Gordon. You lose Tim Hardaway Jr., which, man, the Tim Hardaway Jr. experience was fucking crazy. Because he was so amazing in the regular season. I was like, oh, he's like now, he's like on the leaderboard of most threes made in an NBA season for the Nuggets. And, I was like, wow, they must just not have known how to like use him on these other teams because he's incredible. I've literally never seen a worse defender. I've never seen a bigger playoff dropper in all my days. But so this Nuggets roster now is like, starting lineup is like Jokic, Drew Holiday, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, and
Zeke Naji.
Well, Zeke's out for sure. And Jonas is out too. I mean,
that's for the best.
Well, yeah, Jonas, it's tough because he's like a hot and cool guy.
Not so good at basketball,
complete dud.
These days. Yeah.
I mean, the thing that's so funny is, I don't know if you remember this, but at the end of the season, right before the season, he like tried to bully the Nuggets because he was like, they want me in Greece.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, the Kings traded him.
Like, I have probably the biggest offer that whatever Panathinaikos or whatever has ever. That's not the name. That's just me trying to sound.
You're so close.
Yeah, that's not appropriate. But that's the Greek team was going to pay him the most, like because he's going to be a star over there. It's like, brother, you definitely should have taken that contract. But yeah,
well, the problem is he was straight up under contract still. And so he was like, well, no one's going to want me. Like, I play for the Sacramento Kings. Like, that doesn't mean shit. Like, I'm out of here.
And hopefully someone does want him as a backup center and we can get a second round pick or something in return for him. Because the thing that's absolutely fucked is the Nuggets have like no assets to make any moves going forward. And then the crazy thing too is like the main goal is to avoid the repeater tax, because I think we were over the tax or whatever 2 of the championship run years. I don't know if it was the before and then the championship year or the other way. But if you go 3 in 4, I don't know actually know the rules on this, but basically the taxation rates like exponentially grow if you go into the repeater. And even though the Cronkies are the wealthiest landowners in the United States and they should pay taxes to have a good basketball team, you probably don't want to go into the repeater tax. That's just crazy. Like the reason you have these rules is so that they're cost prohibitive even for trillionaires. Right. So you don't just have like, what happens in other sports where you just pay to play and get every good player on your team.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's just
it's tough, man. I hate
you've laid out a tough sequence here, and really what I'm hearing here is like I think the dialectical framing is a very interesting one, where like the moron's opinion is dialectics is two things. The midwit's opinions is dialectics is actually three things. But it seems like the enlightened man's opinion is dialectics is zero things.
Well, that would be the like anti-dialectical Adornian. That would be what's called a negative dialectics.
Nihilectics.
Negative dialectics is Adorno's big book that is really hard to read. So that's
my point here is you despite being touched by God and getting to cheer for a team with like the coolest passer probably to ever touch a basketball, you have to enter this angst space that like 27 other teams are in, where you have to like think about like even having to consider all these mock trades. Like Harry's always sending me like, oh, here's some crazy ass like ways to get pods, like some assets for pods and stuff. It's like even there's a spiritual degradation, I think, about like having to conceive of shit like that. And like,
bro,
the Nuggets have not had to deal with that for a long time. And so I gotta say, I feel for you.
So two things. One is we have had to deal with it very recently. But it was on the ascent. So when we were like coming up, we had Jokic, we knew what we had. Like me and a bunch of my like, internet buddies and like other podcasters, and as well as people who are now in the front office at the Nuggets, had a wings list. And if you saw some of the goddamn names on this list that we were coveting,
dude,
Robert Covington,
you would be sickened. He was on the list without a doubt. But like for me, I don't think I've never reached the depths that I'm at right now, where like my dream scenario now is we trade Jamal Murray, one of the most important players in my entire life, one of my favorite basketball players ever, someone who I feel like I know really well. I know him intimately in ways I wish I didn't, but I now am thinking that we would come out on top trading Jamal Murray for Davion Mitchell.
Yeah,
I know. I actually wrote a text this morning that I said he's maybe a better offensive player than we've seen so far. He might be. What if he is though? What if he's great?
This is like when one of your smartest friends in high school is like, I'm going to go to art school. I'm going to like change the world. I'm going to make this amazing stuff. And then you see him a few years later after college and it's like hairline's receding. He's just like, working in a Deloitte, trying to save up for a mortgage. Like really excited to move to Connecticut. And you're like, man, what happened? Like, you're
or he's guy. Like, man, the New Boards of Canada is amazing. The New Boards of Canada song is actually, it's like a parody of Burning Man, Lithuanian goth techno.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
You do, because we're now kind of in this similar zone, Tom. And like one of the things that happens is there's enjoying basketball, then there's GM brain, which is sad. And then you enter
try to avoid it, but
which is like magical thinking. Like we are just like spinning yarns. Like I'll like honestly once a week start daydreaming about a scenario where Steph Curry writes an open letter to San Francisco demanding a trade for himself that we like all agree on to rebuild the franchise. I've imagined a scenario where like Steph crunches the numbers and takes the veteran minimum because the like social ass clout that would give him in the San Francisco elite class is like worth it financially. Like you can really do special stuff when your back's against the wall.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't realize there's like because we don't have any of those kinds of dynamics. Because there is a way that Steph could like be like, I'm gonna take the vet minimum and I'm going to become like a board member.
Yes.
On some like, emerging sports AI analytics thing, and that's like the PR stunt for the company, and so he gets like back end VC to the tune of 2x max contracts.
I'm actually taking, it's like post the Dinwiddie, like I'm taking it in Bitcoin. It's like, I'm actually, what I'm taking it is in like voting shares in a tranche of various DAOs that are going to like run BART.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh man. Dinwiddie as the like, it's just too good. It's too good. Like the narrative goats are they were absolutely fucking cooking with that. Like, you know, like Plato has this book called I'm like in my philosophy bag today, I guess. Plato has this book called The Laws, where he's like, you know, like who's gonna oversee the overseers. And so he like invents this like sort of secret group who like oversee the overseers, and it's very like complicated and interesting, but like philosophically interesting or whatever. But like when I imagine the like people at the in the writer's room at like, you know, they're like, well, we got this crypto thing and we have an opportunity to attach it to someone. And someone's like, well, it's got to be Kyrie. And they're like, I hear you, but I think we can do better. You know, they're like, well, who could it be? If it's not Kyrie, then who could it be? And they're like, I don't think you understand this just yet, but the impact of having it be Spencer Dinwiddie. God, Spencer Dinwiddie. I wonder, actually, I'd love to see like his like how that turned out in terms of
like
if
how
he
much
made
money
some
he made.
big trades or
It probably worked out well for him. And I have to say, maybe I've told this story before, but another athlete who I did not really realize was crypto coded until I saw him walking around at the Bitcoin conference. And it was like, oh, this makes like a ton of sense to me. It was Tristan Thompson.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tristan he's scam coded for sure.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. That's
100%.
exactly it.
Yeah.
Fucking Spencer Dinwiddie's like, well, I'm a Bitcoin maxi. Like what he did, he's a bad, you know, we're not.
Where did he go to
associated.
college, Spencer?
Seton Hall is what's coming to mind. I don't think that's no. He went to Colorado, didn't he?
Oh, he went to CU Boulder. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, hometown guy. Maybe
he comes back.
Maybe
You're like, now you're like, maybe he comes back on a minimum.
Maybe there's a trade we could cook up there.
Wait,
another thing I want to talk about before we leave Nuggets trade rumors stuff is like Nikola Jokic. So obviously you're not going to trade Nikola Jokic. I think he's going to sign the max contract. I don't really think he's the kind of guy who I don't think he like is going to want to move. You know, it's like everybody always said Chicago because like the Serbian night, there's a huge Serbian population there. Serbia night in Chicago every time Jokic comes to town is like incredible. And, you know, I don't think that Nikola Jokic is ultimately the kind of guy who really wants to be around more people like him. But I saw a really good tweet about Brunson that was like, you know, this is why you surround your generational point guard with as many of his boyfriends as possible or something like that. And I was wondering, like, is there any way to get some more like friendly Serbs, friendly Balkans around Nikola Jokic? Like if you look up Vlatko Čančar, he's an NBA champion, you know? And like,
wait, who
that
is
made
Vlatko
Nikola
Čančar?
happy.
He was like Nikola's boy. He was this Serbian who was kind of ass, except for he kicked the Kings' ass in a couple random games that mattered a few years ago. But he was just like, you got to have a Serbian guy around to keep him happy.
Weirdly,
he's a weed
weirdly,
carrier,
Vlatko is like incredibly talented. If you Google Air Vlatko, you'll see he has one of the most insane in-game free throw dunks. He didn't need to. This is perfect Vlatko. He has the athletic ability to do an in-game free throw line dunk. The only reason he does it is because he kind of like weirdly, awkwardly mistimed his pickup, his gather. And then he's like full speed running and he's like, oh shit, I'm really far from the hoop. So he literally did a free throw line dunk. But yeah, I'm like, you know, what does Nikola want? Everybody, there's all this like chatter 2 years ago that was like, Jokic requested Westbrook. It's like, did he really? Like, if he did, would they get rid of him? You know, like, he's so passive and he's so I mean, he's obviously a terrible leader. This is a problem. Christian Braun is our leader, you know?
I wanted to bring this up. Yeah.
You were going to bring this up, huh?
Yeah, how did that feel?
Dude, it was
Well, let me hold
crazy.
on. Let me set it up so people who
Okay,
don't
yeah,
know, 'cause-
context for the non-psychos.
Yes, we've been talking about the basketball fallout. There has also been sets of narrative fallout behind the Nuggets losing, and one of them was a really powerful quote from Christian Braun, I think, out of the exit interviews, which was, I'll read it. I think I'm the leader of the team. I'm the vocal leader of the team. I didn't play well enough as an individual, and I didn't have this team ready enough to play in a tough series.
That reminds me, and
I
I've
didn't
heard
have
like
this team ready enough to play.
that reminds me of what NBA players say. Like Marvin Bagley said this. I think Miles Bridges has said this, where they're like, no. I'm like a rapper first who happens to play basketball. And it's like, that's the most concerning thing you can say.
Yeah, exactly.
This feels of a piece.
This is of a piece. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about CB, aka the crazy ass white boy.
Mm-hmm.
And, so first off, like, we'll be serious first, and then we can go into jokes. Like, the serious thing is, like, the Nuggets miscommunicated the scale of his injury in the season. I don't know if you guys clocked this, but it was like he had an ankle sprain. And then it was like a couple weeks later, it was like, it's a high ankle sprain. You're like, oh, okay, so this is different than it was. And then like there'd be little leaks that it was like, oh, he like tore a tendon. Or like it was like really weird ambiguity around the severity of the injury. And then he came back. He came back for 1/4 of one game and he looked fucking ravaged. He looked broken.
Couldn't dunk, yeah.
Couldn't do anything. And then he went away for like 3 more games and came back and finished the season. So what happened there? We need a postmortem on that big time. But he was clearly never well. And his lack of explosiveness turned into a tremendous lack of confidence, partially justified lack of confidence, but then it also just like infected him. And then he, there's the couple clips against the Wolves where he like caught a perfect Jokic pass and pump fake 3 times and then dribbled out to the 3-point line to pass it back to Jokic. Just like, what's happening here? I like went deep on CB as he was struggling in that first round series, and like what happened to my baby boy? What happened to my sweet baby boy? He used to look 15 and livid. And like, he's like a Trumper. Like his mom is like a notorious Twitter personality for Nuggets fans. I don't know if that's broken containment, but
no. Dude,
don't check the favorites on the Lisa Brown account or the follows. Like,
wow,
and so he used to be like this snarky, probably, MAGA character who would, scream the B word after making a dunk on someone. And then he came back with his shaved head and his evolving hipster beard.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell he's given over a portion of his mind to pursuing romantic love. And you hate to see that because, it's like part of life. It's part of life. It's part of life. And, you want these guys, you wish the best for your guys. But he used to be Lisa's little racist little boy. And now he's clearly pursuing romantic love. And he's clearly in Denver. He's clearly like DMing girls, asking if they want to go on hikes. Like he's doing this thing. And he was distracted. And I don't want to say that's why he injured his leg. But that's kind of my working theory.
That's interesting.
So what I need is monastic teenage CB back. I need the hair out. I need the bangs. I need the beard shaved. I need Jokic to shave his motherfucking beard. Like, we have to have some standards. I need coaches in suits. I need beards shaved. Adelman can't be that guy and wear a fucking tracksuit.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you have to. I always talk about this being me. Like, there was a period in my life where I had like, round intellectual glasses and a mustache and long hair and being 6'3" or whatever, and tattoos. And it's like somebody should have pulled me aside and been like, bro, you can only do 3 of those.
Yeah.
Like you're already annoying. You can't also be accoutrement guy. And CB is like, the Nuggets are we already have too many problems. We can't have our coach looking like, Alfred E. Newman on a off day or whatever. He's got to wear a fucking suit.
I love this theory. I think this is brilliant because I look at CB and I see like the passage of time is like working ravages on this young man. Like he's taking himself too seriously. But I actually think I like your theory more, where it's like, it's not that he's like being ground down by the passage of time. He's trying to become too complete of a person.
Yeah.
He's seeking spiritual realization when he should be trying to get his ass to the hoop.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kind of like, inverted Icarus sort of situation. Like, he flew too close to the earth. He's not an earthling.
Right.
He's a professional basketball player.
Right.
It's like, and I know that he had like some influencer baddies that he was tooting around and like going on Turks and Caicos trips with. It's like, whatever you do in the off season, bro, fly them out, have your fun. But when you come back here, I want that hipster beard shaved. No, I don't want to see him in any motherfucking chrome hearts.
Yeah.
I want to see him in team apparel, the freebies, and I want to see the coach in a suit. I want to see everybody's focused on basketball. Ultimately, this happened to Jokic too. Like as a relatively new father, like Jokic, when the second baby came, he just got so visibly tired.
You think
And
he's like
real.
he's too much of a team player, like even in his personal life? It sounds like.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure he's a great dad.
Yeah, he's too good of a dad.
His wife is like a very fully realized person too. So I'm sure that like, I'm sure they have all kinds of the childcare that you can pay for if you're a max extension NBA player. But I'm sure Jokic, she's like, Nicola, like the baby's crying. Will you go? It's the middle of the night. Nicola, go. And he's like, oh, and he like gets up and he goes. And imagine him holding a baby. He's so massive. And he's like,
doing it like a volleyball, like he does the basketball. Like he's like palming it like a water polo.
I mean, he already gently cradles the basketball like it is a child's head in so many ways.
It's true. It's true. But these guys have to figure out how to sequester themselves. The Nuggets were so bad at home. And I can't help that isn't because of Jamal's baby, Jokic's 2 babies, Christian Brown's romantic life.
Wait, I have a question though, because I'm thinking about the both child having and pursuing IG baddies via Wolverine style beard. How do you square these theories with Anthony Edwards, who's like famously a father, and I mean that like, somewhat derogatorily.
Famously fathering. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Not a father.
He's not the father who stepped up.
Exactly.
He's the father who stepped back 3 balls.
Yeah.
So how do you square your theory of both the pursuit of romantic love and the acquisition of children as sort of fundamentally opposed to basketball? Like how does Edwards resolve this trialectic?
Cut from a different cloth, bro.
Yeah.
There is a different approach to this, which is, most notoriously sort of exemplified by James Harden. Like, James Harden, like, famously like partying, like, hard partying till 6 a.m., get a couple hours of shut eye, hits the practice facility, gets his body right, and then puts up 42 or whatever in the game. Like Houston Harden was just an absolute demon. Yeah. And, there's probably a ceiling that maybe it's roughly a James Harden's career shaped ceiling to that approach. Ant seems to be a little bit like Ant is a combo guard. You know what I mean? He's like a little bit like less. He's like, he on the one hand he's fathering, but then he doesn't seem to be like the most swagged out guy.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to just like to get buckets. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean.
Yes.
He likes to get buckets, and he's like, whereas James Harden, the degree of like the swag never turns off with James. And that's the thing that I liked about Ant in this series is like the swag's off and he's still getting buckets. You know what I mean? Which shows you that he could eventually be like a very sexually active married man. I don't know what that means, but
wait, let me say one thing about this, which is like, I wonder to put forth.
I'm glad I could come and vent on the pod today, guys. This is great. This sets everything in its proper place because I've been so sad about the Nuggets.
We just got to open the studio space to let you cook. But Harry,
you guys are really holding studio space for me.
Yeah. No, well, just that. Okay. I wonder if being, like swag, fathering and being fucking around and being sort of unserious, in the same way that like ping pong tables in the office was like a ZERP phenomenon. I wonder if this is like a pre-Supermax phenomenon. Like stars can be, you can be fucking around, you can have your idiosyncrasies, you can elbow somebody in the face in a whatever when you're on your rookie max extension. But once the Supermax, once you're Jokic, once they sort of like the screws get tighter, you've either won a championship or you've been in the league a number of times, your team is like hitting the end of their ability to just throw money at the problem, like the Nuggets and the Warriors, etc. That's when you gotta stop being Christian Braun. Like that's when you need to return to being, MAGA, and you need to stop being this is when you need to lock the fuck in. And,
well, the thing I would say about Ant, again, to the disanalogy with James Harden, is that we all saw the All-Star game this year. Like Ant is also, despite being, this is what makes him so incredible. Despite being clearly the coolest guy on earth and fathering, etc., being from Atlanta, like he's just so fresh. He's also an insane competitive tryhard.
Mm-hmm.
That, and Harden never had that. Like Harden never would try to take over the All-Star game.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a joke, and Anthony Edwards takes basketball extremely seriously. Not to say that James Harden doesn't. James Harden is like, one of the best basketball players of all time, incredible professional athlete, etc. So I'm not that guy, but like, we will see with Anthony Edwards. My gut feeling right now, after watching him for the last several years dismantle my team, he is like a serious champion, a real fucking champ, and like, to this point, that's just not been in Harden's, playbook.
Well,
yeah.
Two quick things. One is the when we talked to Michael Santola, who's the a famous white boy in our Rolodex, and he was like talking about Ant in high school, and he was like, he went to high school with Ant, and it was like Ant in high school was like, I'm better than Russell Westbrook right now. Like Ant like, thinks that way, which is
sick.
Yeah,
I love it.
And then I also
cool.
I wanted to this end, like to the point of him being like a super competitor, even like through his swag. I think kind of what I hear you saying is like, there's no cool jacket with Ant. Like Ant's not embracing nonchalance in any way. He is trying to like run through walls. And his comment about after they won the game last night, him being like, the line of, I told the rookie that if my ankle was better, I was going to punch on him, is like one of the, first of all, calling Dan
Wait,
Harper.
I didn't even see
Did
that.
you
I
see
need to
it?
see that.
It was
You-
so
you,
good.
You saw it. Okay, Patrick. So
Yeah.
So sick, dude.
after the game,
What a fucking line. That's incredible.
He does not.
So again,
use-
let's just get this on the table right now. Clearly, Ant is the inverted Wemby. Wemby is all like subterfuge and PR
Yes.
preparation and like thinking in these like multiply meta layers of self-consciousness how he's going to appear. And Ant is like saying homophobic shit, like saying if the ball goes up, he's gonna like beat that shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
saying things like this about Dylan Harper, I'm assuming. Like
Yeah.
he has no filter. This is who he is. He is an absolute like legend. There's no cool jacket. Whereas Wemby is clearly like, on the one hand, just unmistakably French. And everybody has all this like, you know, everybody talks shit about Rudy Gobert all the time. And then like somehow Wemby isn't like victim of that same degree of, you know, Frenchness. He's French. Let's be real.
Famously.
Utterly and totally. And the French are not cool. You know, that's like a thing. At least not since the middle of the 20th century. But okay, go ahead. Back to he said he was going to punch it on the rookie.
He doesn't say Dylan Harper's name. And
Yeah,
and
why
it's,
would
but,
you?
Right. And he's like, I told the and he's like thinking I told the rookie like I was gonna
So
punch it on him
sick.
if my knee was feeling better. In the post-game interview, he is just telling that to the and then just like kind of walks off and says that, you know, thanks for the interview and walks away. And I was like,
So sick.
obviously Dylan Harper's case. It's operating on levels. I mean, I'm getting out of the way here, but so often what I want from media, either basketball players, you know, sort of stuff, is I want to be surprised.
Listen up, Patrick. Listen
Yeah.
up.
I'm taking notes.
I want to be surprised. And he says this thing that is just so surprising and unexpected that I was just like, fuck yeah, dude. Like
He's so cool. Can we
The
talk
thing-
a little bit
Oh, no.
about just how terrible the Adidas ad is with his like friend or
Oh,
whatever?
the kid
yeah.
tries to dunk? No, which one is this?
No, the one where
In the
he and his
car?
friend are like in the car and they're like singing a song together. And they tried to like make his friend into some sidekick character. And I don't know who
Yes.
that guy is, but he is like he's not it, you know? Like he doesn't have he's utterly swagless. And you know, all they needed was to put him on camera and let him talk.
Yeah. The thing
What a
with
character.
Ant, I'm struck by, and this is I think another point where he and Wemby are like diametrically opposed, is that he lives so clearly in the present tense. Like
Yeah.
it's not that he like doesn't have foresight or anything, but he is like fully present in any moment that he's in. Like that's why he doesn't need media training. That's why he's just this like bucket getter, unparalleled bucket getter. And you can sense with Wemby that like he's thinking about his legacy in already
Always.
like his third season, and that
I
he was
know.
thinking about his legacy as like a 12-year-old learning English. And that like, you know, when he gives these quotes that are clearly like designed to create this persona, you can sort of sense this, that it's more of a temporal artifice is what I'm describing.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That
It's the
Ant like
same thing as
doesn't even
Shea
conceive
has.
of.
Yeah, it's the thing where you're like, everybody was like talking about the flow state quote and how like, obviously like he literally was like talking, he was answering some question for a long time. And he's saying like basketball banalities, you know, like he was saying like, you know, try to always make the right play every time I come down the floor. What's best for my team, you know, da 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 da. And then he like paused and you could see him be like, go into his like, you know, his index card box and be like, ooh. And then he just goes like, you know, there's this thing called flow state. And then, but he didn't say anything. And you're like, man, you're just so self-conscious and such constant aura farming. It's so annoying. But yeah, I think Ant, you know, this is why I worry about his knees. Like, I don't think he's thinking about 5 years from now. And like, you know, you can see it has been sometimes to the detriment of his team in games where he's like, you would never call a player that gifted a ball hog, but like sometimes he doesn't get off the ball when clearly he should. Even last night in a couple of the early doubles where he had like an easy pass to Terrence Shannon Jr., you could see he looked at Terrence Shannon Jr. and he went like, hell no. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm going to give it up. And then like trapped in a double, have to call a timeout, falling into the backcourt. So like, he has the gene whatever it is. And he's constantly proving that he's like, where do you put him in the league now? Top 5? Easy, right? Top 10 easy.
Top 10 easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. There's a lot of you'd have to sort of really price in a Giannis and perhaps a Jokic decline to put him that high. But like,
well, I was going to say,
where does he rank among Americans? Is
quick top 5. Okay. Number 1, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't possibly. But I think that Ant is like, he's just so damn good. And like a lot of these other guys who are in that top tier are, like you said, there's like age and, other changes. But I think that like the rookie is really interesting. Like, and this could be a problem for Dylan Harper. The problem that Christian Braun has is that when he was the rookie, I don't know if you guys were partial to this, like, or if you saw this, victim of this chat. It was like, he wins at every level. He won a championship in high school. He won at Kansas, and now he's winning with the Nuggets or whatever. And it's like, he was this young phenom, this guy who, like, didn't matter that he didn't have a real skill set as an athlete or basketball player. He had the ability to scream the B word, and everyone loved that about him. And then he like stopped counting himself as the rookie, and now is the leader of the Denver Nuggets. and he's terrible. And that contract is going to be a disaster for the Nuggets, barring some kind of significant, like maybe he heals up and he has his like platelet, whatever, and he goes on his, copper peptides and shit, and the humanin is rocking, and he's like back to 100%, God willing. And then maybe we can trade him. But until then, we're going to have this expensive guy for a long time. This very expensive vocal leader. Dylan Harper, it's good for him to be called the rookie. And I think Ant, honestly, I'm gonna now ascribe to what I will call the theory of Anthony Edwards' benevolence going forward. Which Ant is actually calling him the rookie because he's thinking about Dylan Harper's growth arc. And he knows that everyone's saying, like, this kid's wise beyond. You can see he plays like a vet trapped within a rookie's body or whatever. And he's gonna miss out on the slow growth curve, and it's gonna be tough for him. Like if he struggles as a sophomore and then maybe struggles the first part of his third year or something, people will be like, oh, we thought he had it or whatever. Instead of it being like a conventional growth arc with 1 step forward, 2 steps back, he's learning the game, It's like, so the rookie, Harper needs to embrace that a little bit. He needs to like let himself have some outbursts. He needs to let himself make some mistakes.
Or else he's going to end up like Wemby.
Else he's going to end up just like Wemby.
Punch, elbowing some, God forbid, end up, the failure that is Victor Wemby.
Or Naz Reid. Naz Reid's going to take a nasty elbow from Harper. Yeah, a lot lower, but still.
Yeah, in the tummy this time.
Yeah.
The rookie is so good. I do have to say,
the rookie. I got to watch that clip.
I don't know how humble he's going to be allowed to be, because like you could see it after Wemby went out last night. Like he's their second best player. Like that guy is just incredible.
We haven't even talked about the true elephant in the room here, which is just the heel turn, the nasty behavior from Castle. Stephon Castle went from being a silent assassin to being like the most insane, like head knocking flop artist, plus constantly like trying to start shit and then back doing the like, hey, like it's so crazy. Like if Bones Hyland shoves you with 2 hands in the chest, Bones Hyland's like 6 feet tall. Like Bones Hyland doesn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but
locker room cancer, Bones Hyland.
Yeah,
Castle has contracted Jaden McDaniels disease. Like it's clear that like going up against,
have it though. That's the thing. He doesn't have it.
He's not a psycho like Jaden.
He's not a psycho. Yeah,
he's not Gnostic like that.
No, he's a bit try hard with it. Okay, back to this Bones Hyland cancer thing. Did you see this? Like in Denver Nuggets podcast circles, somebody called him a locker room cancer, which is literally just a turn of phrase that people describe to talk about guys who are sowing, dissent or dissonance in a locker room. And I don't remember exactly what the characteristics of the cancellation were, but whoever said that got in like Twitter trouble. People have already like completely forgotten that like Bones like came for Jamal on Twitter. His family members were all like advocating for a trade of Jamal Murray because Bones was ready to be a superstar. You have a superstar right under your nose and you don't know it, like all of this shit. And he basically like had an incredible situation in Denver, could have been a champ. And he just like he needed to be the rookie for a little while. It's good to be the rookie. This is a good takeaway from today's podcast is let yourself be the rookie. Let yourself be the rookie. That's what I'm going to say for my Zen basketball mantra going forward. But people forget that Bones really he really fucked up. He had like a couple incredible nationally televised games, and then he got so high on the swag that he fucked it. And he went to purgatory and clearly did his reparations and came out of Clipper hell and is now in another good situation. I hope. I love Bones. I have a song on this record I'm working on going forward that features like a Bones Hyland vocal sample.
Is that true?
Yeah. I'll send you guys a demo of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm so excited.
That's amazing.
Wait,
I can't.
Say a little more about this. How did this come to be?
Well, Bones has done some different singing in the car on IG Live.
Yep.
Is he a good singer?
Yeah. I mean, Bones Hyland is definitely like at least. I mean, he's got at least a couple mixtapes in the can that he hasn't maybe decided to drop yet. But
he does seem to have a wide because he is he's a big on the way to the game selfie music playing in the car guy, and he's got an eclectic music taste. He seems to have good. Yeah. Bones
is so cool. Bones is awesome. He the thing that sucks is that the way it went down in Denver, like he was like people were literally ready to like get Bones Hyland tattoos and like give it all away for Bones. You know what I mean? Like trade everyone but Bones. Like he could be the star point guard on the Jokic, on our third championship run, but he decided that he needed to like Jamal. I mean, I bet Jamal is really difficult to deal with. Sadly, seems like pretty, just like real oil and water in terms of the personalities with Bones and Jamal. Jamal is like, kind of like ornery and doesn't, shows up fat. Bones is like, playing and like doing like YouTube video, like ones versus MK and shit. Bones v MK is going to hit like a fucking ton of bricks this summer. That's going to be incredible.
Well, as our Wolves correspondent, Eamon Whalen, has pointed out several times.
I thought you were talking about me.
No, our deputy Wolves correspondent. Sorry.
Thank
I mean, you and Eamon, I know you guys went to high school together. You have this whole history. But he was saying that Bones is on the Wolves because Ant was like, I want that guy. Like, I respect that guy's bag. Like, bring him to me. And Tim Connolly, famously in Minnesota now, is addicted to like, he's trying to recreate Jamal Crawford at all times. And he's like identified Bones as like,
I mean, dude, Tim Connolly is addicted to 6 foot and under guys. It's so dark. What is that, bro?
Was Jalen Pickett on his watch?
No, that's Calvin Booth. And Jalen Pickett's short, but he's not little. He's got the booty ball thing going. But the Tim Connolly legacy is like Marcus Howard, Facu Campazzo.
Yeah.
Woo.
Dude, the Campazzo EuroLeague tape was special. I thought he was going to be good.
He was pretty
Well, he was
good,
good.
actually.
Yeah, he just was tiny.
Yeah, he could have been better, but he was pretty good. He's just honestly also past his prime.
Right.
But then, the latest and greatest Connolly experiment is the Rob Dillingham experiment, which that was sad, bro. That was really sad. It was like, you can't do that to a guy. You know what I mean? He was like, he didn't deserve it. He was literally like, looked like a damn, equipment manager out there.
He was never allowed to be a rookie.
Yeah.
Weirdly, that's the
Too
thing,
much
is they
pressure
like
on
thought
him.
he was great. It was so, why do teams do this sometimes? And it's so very rarely works, where they're like, Rook is ready. He's ready. He's good. It's like, dude, of all people, Rob D was not ready. He's like maybe 5'10".
Yeah.
And like, honestly, dude, what do you think he weighs? What do you think he weighs? 140?
160. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like,
160. Yeah,
He's so visibly teeny tiny. And obviously he's a gifted athlete. He's like incredible basketball player, but like, no, it's just not real.
Did a Tim Connolly team suffer at the hands of like Isaiah Thomas or some shit? Does he have like Doc Rivers style trauma from like where anyone who beats you is like that's like Hito Turkle is the best player in the world?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing that's going to happen with the Nuggets this year too. Is like whatever moves they're able to make in the offseason, they're going to do the overcorrection vis-a-vis the Jaden McDaniels. And like, we're going to get they're going to like do something insane and like trade like Aaron Gordon and Cam Johnson for like Andrew Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be like, Wiggins is our McDaniels solution or whatever. And then we're going to have Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
And Andrew Wiggins is awesome, but also is past his prime.
Yeah.
And can't
too Canadian to win at the highest level again. Steph briefly de-Canadianized him, but then now he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
can I
how do you
interest you
explain
in
Shea then?
Anthony Davis, Jokic, two-man? Little, we can save him with underhand passes, big to big.
I mean, Anthony
I'm just
Davis
thinking of like
is
distressed
incredible. I know.
assets. Yeah, that would like.
I know. I'm really entertaining it. Like, can they win with Anthony Davis? He's pretty incredible, but they would be the slowest team. But do you think that
imagine
the Wizards make this first pick, or do they trade this pick?
I assume they have to make it. Like, it's. I mean, I don't know what you guys think about Debonsa, but it really seems like he's like a guy you can for sure build around, and like you wouldn't sacrifice that because you have two washed, injured guys that you traded kind of nothing for. Like,
what if you trade Debonsa for Giannis and like all of the draft capital you can get out of the Bucks plus whomever else, okay? And then you trade AD for, I mean, God, this is like hell to me, but you trade AD in some package for Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. And then your Wizards team is like, Trey, Giannis. You have a team. You have a great team, conceivably.
The problem I see with this is just the city, the Washington Wizards are not institutionally prepared for success. The pipes would burst.
The pipes would burst.
Something.
Yeah.
It would be too good too quickly. Like it's like how the
like the Spurs this year.
Yeah, like the Spurs this year, and even
too good too quickly.
Wait, Harry, speaking of the lottery, you're a big Darren Peterson guy.
I am.
How are you left feeling? And also, what was your reaction to the thing about how he overdosed on creatine and gave himself too many
Mr. Coworker Music himself, dude.
Wait, what is that? I saw you say that in a text to me. You're like, he's Mr. Coworker Music, and I was like, I'm not responding to this right now. Is he a Krongbin head?
He's just like
Or do you
he's
mean his style of play? Like,
his
just give us
style of
the.
play, like
Yeah.
his vibe to me is like if a Rick and Morty poster at a bong like store existed, like that would be him. He's like Mr. Day and Night Kid Cudi Crookers remix as a basketball player, and like kind of on the like I'm a antisocial loner thing.
Yeah.
But I'm as I more and more sell myself on, or sorry, as I more and more like dig in, and I have to say, I came in reading, I was prepared to read the creatine article as farce. Like I was like, this is the funniest thing in the world. How did this guy get whatever? It in my brain, in my pro Peterson brain, it like I went, first of all, I just completely believed it. I'm like, he was cramping. You're 20 years old. You've never had a a cramp before. You're scared.
I thought I was going to die or whatever he said.
Yeah, like maybe he's got some kind of medical anxiety. Who among us, Bill Self, not first of all, Bill Self shackled by HIPAA violations. He can't speak, which kind of explains the sort of strange way that they were behaving to each other, where Bill Self would be like, I'm not going to, talk about this, whatever. And one of the things that I found to be extremely odd about the piece was that he didn't tell his roommate that this was happening to him, which just speaks to a level of like lack of intimacy that
you absolutely cannot draft this guy.
No,
this guy isn't this. I've never heard bust.
I have arrived at the exact opposite. I have arrived at the exact opposite conclusion. I saw that and I was like, this man is bulletproof. He is. Do you know that he refers to himself as the Michael? He refers to himself as the Michael Myers of basketball.
Dude, this guy is so clearly a bust.
Oh my god!
This is one of the most obvious busts ever. I would never wish that on anyone.
Yep.
Like again, God willing.
If he is a bust, he will kill. He will literally kill somebody. By the way, like if he is, it's like so.
So here's the thing about the creatine thing is like, okay, let's go. We got a couple things we have to talk about. The creatine thing, first off, is like, creatine has been around for so long, so rigorously tested at this point. That is not a even minimally possible explanation for what he's describing, his symptoms. Okay,
he has.
So that means that he was like, that means that he has something very bad going on, either in his process or in his health.
Yep.
And if he has people around him who are like, today we're doing, we got all of these weighted vests and sleeves from Amazon.com, and we're going to do a 10-hour crazy ass workout or whatever. Like that means he has the wrong people in his midst, or he has some kind of medical condition, propensity, or likely both. Like in order to get the go to the hospital with I'm going to die full body cramping, you have to be doing things wrong.
Right.
Something is afoot. Okay, so the draft order was like what? It was Wizards, Jazz,
Grizzlies, Bulls, Clippers,
Nets, and then the Kings. 7?
Darius Acuff Jr., come on down, my man.
I'm so sad about this. We haven't even talked about the Kings, man. The fact that they ended up 7.
It's fine. It's fine. This is their spiritual destiny. It's fine. I know. It's like nothing ever good was going to happen. It's all good. They had their lottery luck in the Luka draft, and when they fucked that, it was like, well, this is over. Like,
yeah, the gods were like, we tried.
Yeah.
You failed.
Yeah,
okay.
And that was less than a decade ago. But
Acuff, another like definitely sub 6 foot guy, right? Like how tall is he actually?
Yes. The worst defender I have ever seen in college. But to return to Harry's point,
bucket getter, low key. But
Peterson in Utah is like the most intriguing and weird and like potentially disastrous thing that could, like, they already, like, they took Bailey last year and there was like a kind of
You know
fake
what?
malcontent situation, but it kind of worked. But I'm like, I think Utah could really work for him. I don't
There's
really
something,
know why.
all the things we've been talking about, the like coworker dynamic, the like completely impossible medical explanation, the doing things wrong thing, that's all quite Mormon in a way.
Okay, I wanted to say this, which is like, there's some synergy here, which is like, he's in Salt Lake City. He is walking into the only store in Salt Lake City that resembles a bodega. There is like whatever their version of like run through multiple layers of like local and government whatever, like filters, their version of like rhino pills, right?
Yeah.
He is,
and it's like local, there's all these like VCs in Salt Lake City too. So it's like VC energy or whatever, but like they just call people with like $100,000. They're like, I'm a VC or whatever. It's like Darren Peterson's going to be our like, our star for a bunch of influencer content for our rhino pills. Like,
exactly. It's they're teal tax. They're like literally they're Tic Tacs, but they're
Teal tax, nice.
They're the exact same peptide stack as Peter Thiel, updated in real time. Peterson is tired before the workout and just pops a few of those. Like that is, I feel like there's complete swag synergy there. Like if you listen carefully, I just finished White Noise by Don DeLillo, so I'm like imagining like it's like everything's going everywhere. If you listen in faintly in the store, like Chitty Bang is playing. Yeah. Like this is all just, it's all happening.
Yeah. And Darren Peterson ends up being the first NBA player ever suspended for kratom.
Exactly.
He's like, I thought they were teal tax. And you could like hear as he's walking out of the store, someone goes like, did you just sell him kratom? Actually, maybe that's what Paul George was doing. Also, low key, Paul George was like off that like white angel kratom or whatever. I don't know how they name kratom. Red Dragon,
whatever. Yeah, Tim Dillon promo code Tim. Yeah,
I think that we like. I hate negative. Like going like dark Nostradamus on stuff, but I think that like we're gonna see. So this is like supposedly the best draft class ever. Okay, so this is again. Also, I should say I watch roughly 4 to 7 college basketball games a year. You know what I mean? I don't know any of these guys. I don't know anything about them. I've seen Acuff play one game. I saw Dabansa play 1.5 quarters of basketball, and I was like, that's probably the best basketball player on earth. But we live in an era where as we know, we live in the era of like, announce layoffs to drive stock prices up and then rehire everyone and earn profits. And we live in the era of like intense, like, media brinksmanship. So it's no coincidence that we have the quote unquote best draft class ever right now. Okay. There's reason to believe that we actually don't, or to think that we might not. And there are guys on the market right now in NBA free agency who are proven champions and stars. So if you're the Jazz, you should probably trade Darren Peterson's pick for Jamal Murray.
You're trying to bring him to Denver.
Do you think
Jokic could fix him?
But I would love to have the second pick in the draft. No, but like
Cam Boozer as a reinstantiation of Aaron Gordon is actually kind of perfect.
I would give anything for some kind of like Freaky Friday situation where Aaron Gordon gets real hamstrings again.
Yeah, gets a dream.
Is that a Freaky Friday situation? I don't know.
Yeah, in the sequel they do some hamstring swapping.
They do hamstring stuff. Hamstring play. I would say two closing thoughts on the Darren Peterson thing. Setting Darren Peterson aside, I do think that we live in an era which I would describe as the universal Mormonization of America.
Ooh. Yeah.
And we're in the opening salvo
Mm.
of the universal Mormonization of America.
I couldn't
Where
agree
like
more.
nobody drinks, but like everybody's like doing different, like, everybody's like, oh, I bought these like feel good capsules, and you're like, you bought that from an MLM that like your cousin is selling, and like it's probably worse for you than drinking, and like, this is Mormon.
Everyone's a small business owner in the
Yeah.
way that like you already mentioned MLMs. Like everyone in Utah is like running scams on each other and starting businesses and shit.
Polyamory. They're tweeting about polyamory.
Yeah, yes.
They're tweeting about polyamory.
They're tweeting about polyamory.
Harry just became 70 all of a sudden. They're tweeting about polyamory. I can't believe Victor Wembanyama didn't get suspended, bro.
They were never going
cannot.
to do that.
I know, but I've never seen. It is one of the most non-basketball violent things ever. It wasn't. The thing that's crazy is like the Jokic thing. Jokic went for the like half-court shot on the Morris twin. Morris twin like knocked him in the ribs and then walked away. And then Jokic like ran after him and hit him. Wemby like clearly tried to like make it seem like a conceivable basketball play and failed so badly. You can see him like look over and like like Terminator 2, like locate the weak spot on the neck, like monk training kicked in. He like hits the neck with this like clearly like a fencing move. I can't believe he's going to play this next game. I really hope the Wolves win the series now, even though, like I said, it just means another Shea chip, which, my enemy's enemy is not my friend or something. There's some message there.
There will be a basketball Nirvana reading of it, and I think we can reach a place of peace with it. I mean, we're Mormon now anyway, so like are they a forgive and forget style? Like what's their deal spiritually speaking?
There's no way to know. I just say these things. I have no
way to know.
It feels right to me.
Yeah, I think it's probably right, but I haven't thought about it at all.
Right.
Just said it out loud.
Okay, but before we get out of here, Patrick, I did want to give you one. Well, I did give you. Let's talk about the rest of the lottery for a sec, because you Darius Akov. I mean, we've joked already privately about Darius Akov. Our lawyer Ox Portello is having a emotional breakdown about the
poor
Brooklyn
guy.
Nets.
Where did they end up?
They ended up 6. I mean, many people have talked about this Clippers Indiana thing, whatever. I don't have much particular to say, but like, what's jumping out to you about the lottery order, and specifically the Kang's Eternal 7? And sorry, last thing in my follow-up, did you happen to see this Vivek tweet that has resurfaced about lucky number 7?
Of course.
No.
Of course. I mean, that's my guy. I gotta say, I think this is, I mean, I wish the Nets had moved up. I wish the Kings had moved up. I wish the Warriors had moved up. But like, from a totally just balls and strikes neutral perspective, I think this is like a pretty much fine lottery result. Like for the teams that like meaningfully moved up, like the Bulls need Caleb Wilson is like the exact type of guy that can really fix them. Grizzlies getting
that's his. I mean, I don't do any like scouting or thinking about this, but I've seen some clips of that guy on Twitter.com, and he is really talented.
He's crazy. He's like if Evan Mobley was like good at basketball, basically.
Yeah. It was like an explosive, connected body athlete. Like the thing about Evan Mobley is clearly Evan Mobley has like doesn't have like the strongest nerve signal out to the ends of his limbs.
Yeah.
You could just see, like, just pure analysis of the athletic body. Like, he just is, his arms don't, he's sending signals conceptually, and they're just not coming through on the fingertips.
Yeah. The axon deficiency didn't really come up in the scouting report, but I think they've advanced that. But like, I gotta say, like, Grizzlies getting the guy, whoever falls to 3, I'm happy with that.
Who's like what? That's probably Boozer.
I would assume. I mean, Darren Peterson in Utah is just so like just coherent to me. I think that kind of has to happen.
I think he could be a surprise slide. I really actually hate to say this out loud, because if it comes true, I'll never forgive myself. But Darren Peterson sliding to 7.
I see. That makes sense to me too.
Yeah. Seems like a
you know what?
no-brainer.
Here's what it is. He's born to wear purple. I can just see that guy. It just makes sense to me. Like just aesthetically, it's too sensible.
You can see him in the actually I can see him in the baby blue.
It's beautiful.
All City Kings jerseys.
I can't really feel I don't really feel anything about the Kings going to 7. It makes sense to me. Once they started winning games at the end of the season for no reason to help Tamar move up to like 17th on the all-time scoring list, it's just very clear that like this is not a team that ever had any organization around like tanking. They were just ass all season. And so it sort of makes sense to me. Yeah.
And that's what Zach LaVine said too. He's like, we're not that bad actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we should probably win. It's like, what?
It's amazing.
I
like Jazz and Wizards as guys who made win now trades last season. This is like their one dip back in. It's kind of cool that they each get to add, Peterson and DeBonta to AD, Trey, and Jaren Jackson. Like, I kind of like them as like potential sudden risers, putting those guys in real situations. It seems like pretty much everyone between 5 and 10 is like some form of point guard. And as someone whose team recently lost De'Aaron Fox, and I'm feeling a spiritual void there, I'm excited to just get someone lead ball handler and who will start. In summary, I'm perfectly calm and I've achieved spiritual balance.
Zen basketball
Yeah.
has been accomplished. I'm curious, like, who are people? I'm looking at the ESPN mock draft right now. Yeah, okay. Keaton Wagler to the Clippers. Never heard of him.
He's cool.
Never heard of him.
He's the Illinois guy, right?
Yeah, he's the Illinois guy.
Acuff to the Nets is actually like,
I like it.
I think it could be great. Yeah.
All these, it's going to be really fun.
Dude, do you know who they have mocked up to the Kings?
If they have Acuff at 6, it'll be Flemings, right?
Kingston Flemings.
Yes. The most De'Aaron Fox style guy.
Exactly.
Having watched 5 minutes of YouTube on like 15 guys,
but so
his whole thing is that he's fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, weirdly, I watched like all the Houston. I just would, anytime I tuned into March Madness, I watched like every Houston game for some reason. And like in the week prior, I watched one too. So I have some tape on him logged.
Nice.
He is a baby.
Oh, he's a tiny little man.
No, but like he's probably what, like he's literally De'Aaron Fox build to a T, like 6'4", 185 pounds or something. But his vibe, I remember once, this is something that happens also as you get older. Like now that I'm, I've passed 40, I now look at the college players and I look at them and they look more to me like children than peers. And it's a crazy feeling. And I remember seeing Flemings on the line and being like, oh, like he's such a kid. So again, it's like the Kings will take him and they're like, we're 5 years out we're on the Flemings timeline. It's like, that's troubling. But he looks like a great player.
Yeah, I like that guy. I'd be happy with him. I mean, they're going to get a guard. It's not going to work out because the org is broken, and that's fine. It's like, I'll watch the first 20 games of the season, be like, you know what? I'll see you guys in March. I got real teams to watch and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of calculation because before I did achieve basketball zen again after the Nuggets loss, I did have a personal minor crash out where I like did a quick calculation of the total hours I had invested in watching the Denver Nuggets this year.
Oh no, you can't do that.
And it was like, even because I watch a lot of games on delay because I have to like get my baby to bed and stuff, and that means I can watch faster. I can like skip free throws and skip commercials and stuff. Even with the accelerated pace, I like clocked like well over 200 hours of Nuggets basketball this year to watch them like melt and wither and suffer in the ways that they did. It's not good. So I got to figure out. That's just a me thing. I got to figure out how to get my life right. But
one must imagine Sisyphus smiling.
Exactly.
That's all I got.
Speaking of Sisyphus smiling, I did worry about DeBanza's interview. when the Wizards got the number
Okay,
one pick.
I wanted to talk about this actually because I'm going the other way. I was not.
You didn't think there was any issue.
I feel like he's a 20-year-old. I saw a lot of people being like, "Oh my god, like it's clear DeBonza doesn't want to go to the Wizards," and I just was like, "This is a 20-year-old who is surrounded by giant cameras for the first time in his life, or like maybe not the first time, but like whatever." And that there was some reading. There was just a minor mass psychosis event of reading into the him not going to the Wizards, not wanting to go to the Wizards.
So just like over interpreting.
Yeah, basically kind of like projecting on this sort of like stoic, because he's, he keeps it, he like basically is like stoic. And
yeah, he's like Patrick in that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
Yeah.
I have a lot in common with him.
Yeah. Actually, I think we can close on this note, which is that I don't remember what it was, but you guys were posting some like funny videos. I can't remember what it was. And Patrick, for some reason, was like absolutely like ripped in the video.
Oh, was it the Defector commercial?
Yeah, the Defector commercial.
Yeah. Well,
and like nobody talks about this, but Patrick is actually like 6'6", 220. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Okay.
I'm a responsible creatine user.
Yeah.
So I'm getting.
Whoa! Look at this guy.
No, I know.
I'm getting
Jesus
ethically
Christ.
stacked up.
Well,
Dude, 2 words: protein.
yeah.
Hold up. Let me pull up. Let me get the stack out here real quick.
Oh yeah, what do we rock? Oh, let's go.
Oh, okay. So we got a couple people with stacks.
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
I have 65% of 17 different vitamins and supplements because I always
Let's
take them
go.
for like 3 days, and I'm like, this isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this L-arginine even for? And I forget that I was in the throes of like ChatGPT psychosis. Like, how can I solve all my problems? It's like L-arginine. You're exactly right. L-arginine is going to be exactly what you need.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one does. Actually, let me look it up and see if I have to have you guys cut this. Is it legal?
Yeah, I'm doing. The point is, I'm doing that. Getting bit, but it's a lot of it is holding this podcast mic because Harry uses a podcast stand, but I'm carrying this 1.2 pounds for an hour and a half, and it's just marginal gains.
Yeah, well, be careful because we all saw what carrying that thing around did to Aaron Gordon's hamstrings. So
It's true. Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll keep stretching.
I hope that whoever signs Aaron Gordon does understand that he has some kind of really significant marijuana problem.
I mean, he's from the Bay Area, living in Denver. Yeah.
If they trade him, I need like a wellness check.
Yeah.
Well, we will check
gladly,
back in on you. This was such a banger. It's great to see you as always. I'm glad to see that you've re-achieved basketball nirvana.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was
as
never worried.
Lifetime
but
Wolves fan, kind of feeling top of the world right now.
Game 5 tomorrow. Yeah. Let's hear those Wolves howl, and we'll see you soon.
All right, boys.